What's up everyone, my name is Jonathan Cabrera. Today we're going to be talking about taking a drone to Europe. Eileen, me and a friend went to Europe earlier this year and we went to 3 different places. We went to Paris, Munich, and Barcelona. And taking a drone is probably one of the scariest things to have on you while traveling to a foreign country. First thing I want to say is that I looked up all the rules and regulations before going to each of these places. I'm going to link below information on every place that we went to, Paris, Barcelona, and Munich. You'll be able to click the link and look at the rules and regulations if you do want to take a drone to those specific places. Really quick, I just want to go over some basic rules if you're going to take your drone over to Europe or to any foreign place. And just make sure the place that you're going to doesn't have a ban on drones, because some places do have a ban on drones, and if you go there, then they will take your drones. Europe is not one of them, or I didn't go to any of the places that they actually take the drone away from you. When you do decide to launch up your drone, make sure that you can see the drone. Don't just let it go far off into the distance and explore. Don't lose signal. Just try to get the best shots that you can as close to you as possible, Make the best of it. Don't get in trouble. Just be careful. Definitely never fly over a crowd of people. Like a lot of people. What if you're flying and you're excited and you're just kind of lost in the imagery? And I know that can happen sometimes, but just pay attention to your battery life. What happens if the battery dies or the drone malfunctions over, people? What if you hit the wrong thumbsticks and it just falls out of the sky and you lose control of it? You're gonna hurt somebody and you're gonna go to jail in a foreign country that you might not even speak the language. Most likely you won't, and that's not fun. The same goes for flying over freeways, a bunch of cars. I know that these structures can look amazing sometimes, but don't fly over cars, don't fly over structures. Maybe from afar do that and take some photos of it and, fly towards it, but don't fly over it. Just stay away from cars. You don't want to cause a car accident and get somebody hurt, or worse, maybe even get somebody killed. When you do decide to fly somewhere, check around, check for people, check for signs, see if, something says, hey, don't fly a drone here. You can't fly a drone here, something like that. Maybe there's a fee to fly a drone. There are places where you can pay to fly your drone, and you just have to be careful. And if you lose it, then you lose it. Okay, this one, I think this is common sense for everybody. Just don't fly at an airport. Yeah, I get it. Airplanes are cool. Basically, you're flying a little airplane. You want to be the little brother and fly with the airplanes and, get that cool footage. But I've seen it before. It's not worth it. It's stupid. What happens if that crashes into the plane or gets sucked up by the turbine? It's a mess and you're going to go to jail. Those are a couple of basic rules to just follow. Right now, I do want to say that I don't have a commercial license, even though I've been flying a drone for a while. I'm pretty good at it. I've gotten better over the years. And you can, see my work on YouTube. Because I don't have a commercial license, I wasn't able to fly in Paris. Paris is pretty much just blacked out. Where I was a little bit further away from the Eiffel Tower, but that was all blacked out. You're not supposed to fly over monuments or any of that stuff. I have like maybe a minute of footage in Paris, and it's just, you can see the Eiffel Tower in the far distance. I mean, I wasn't even supposed to fly there technically. But I did, but far away, and you can't really tell that it's a monument. You're just not supposed to be super close to them and understand what you're looking at, I guess. When we were going into Paris, nobody really stopped me in customs. I did fill out the paperwork. They always give you paperwork. I claimed it. I don't really care if they say nothing or not. You claim it, you have a little bit of money on you if they charge you a tax, but I don't think they charge me a tax because I'm not a commercial flyer, and I'm more of just like it's for recreational use. I mean, you can't really fly unless maybe like you're in the countryside. And I wasn't in the countryside, I was in the city, so I didn't get a lot of footage in Paris. So really you have to be careful about that. So I wouldn't recommend flying in Paris. If you do, try to get out of the no-fly zones. It'll still look amazing regardless, and you'll probably be the only one in the world who has footage of Paris like that. The next spot that we traveled to was Munich. When we got to Munich, it was the same thing. I had the same paperwork from Paris. They didn't ask me about the drone. It was just in my bag. I'm not trying to keep it a secret, but if it's in your bag and you put it through the x-ray, then they see it, they might not say anything. Sometimes they might. You never know. That's why you should always have the piece of paper with you and claim the drone. But in Munich, I didn't have a problem as well. And what was cool about Munich was that it was snowing, and where we stayed, the Airbnb, the people were really cool. And across the street there was actually a park, so I could just fly the drone and get as much footage as I wanted to of the cars driving by or the little town that we're staying in. So it was really nothing too dangerous. I wasn't flying over people and nobody could get hurt, and we could just do whatever we wanted in the snow. And even in the center of the city, it was a fly zone, like you could fly. And I did check for signs and all that, but there was nothing saying that you can't. So look, honestly, if you're not confident in flying, I don't believe you should fly in a city. I flew in the city because I had a fully charged battery. I wasn't flying over people. I just wanted some of the landscapes. I go up and I come back down quick. I'm not recommending that you do that. It's all about confidence and, being in the fly zone. Obviously, if I were to get stopped and they were to tell me not to film, then I would not film and pay the fine if there was a fine. It is safe to fly depending where you are. And it's very open. You can find an open field and get some nice footage of the city or the countryside. Also, just a quick heads up, I never saw any police in Paris, Munich, or Barcelona, but I'm sure that they were there. So the last stop was Barcelona, and I only filmed in two places. I filmed at Sitges, which is a small beach city, and I filmed in the city at a church called La Sagrada Familia. And honestly, both of these places were perfect to film because it was the wintertime and not too many people were there. So for Sitges, the city, the streets, everything was pretty much bare. There was nobody there. It was just winter. So I was able to film over the city and over the beach, and I grabbed a lot of good footage. Same thing for La Sagrada Familia. I filmed that place, and there were people, but I filmed further away from the church. So I don't really know if I can actually film the church, but a lot of people do. I'm not saying just because a lot of people do means you can, but I did, and I was just away from the people. So I got a little bit of footage of that. And during this whole trip, I only had one battery, and I recommend taking 1 or 2 batteries if you want to get more footage. But if you want to be smart about it, I recommend taking 1 battery, because with 1 battery, you'll get what you need and you'll get out of there. Think about your shots before you do it. Don't go crazy and get distracted with, shooting a lot of stuff. You're gonna do something crazy. If you found this video helpful, please make sure you subscribe and hit the like button. I'll continue to make content on this channel just for you guys. And look, if you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comments below. I'll answer as soon as I can. And if you have answers for other people, please help them out. Maybe it's changed since January, so I'll really appreciate that. Remember, this is a community. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.